The reason we bring this up is because there was a report that just came out from the UN, which vindicates Francesca Albanese, which is what we've talked about at length forever. And we knew eventually this was going to come to the forefront. And now here it is. In The Guardian, Israel continues to commit genocide by targeting children in Gaza. UN inquiry finds. Independent report says by aiming at children, Israel is undermining capacity of Palestinian people to exist.
I don't understand something. Wait, hold on, go back. I do not understand how this is news. I don't understand how this is news. We've known that, like, we've already discussed this. We've been saying this for almost, what, 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
So, right. So I don't understand. Is there anything in this, and I am aware that there's a new report, is there anything in it that we didn't know?
Scroll, Colin, please.
Because I don't think so.
Israel continues to commit genocide by deliberately targeting Palestinian children in Gaza. An independent UN inquiry has found. The report by the UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry examined violations against Palestinian children since the start of the war. It is not a war in Gaza. You see, guys, a war involves combatants on both sides with military-grade weaponry. And as we know, the Israelis are the biggest cowards alive. They only know how to fight women and children that are unarmed.
So, guys, that's another good point. Just, yeah, this is one of those media literacy teaching moments.
And said about, and of course, if they were going to have a war, they were going to have one with Iran. And we saw how fast they folded like a cheap suit. And now you want to fuck with Turkey? Okay, keep it going. And said about 30% of the people killed by Israeli forces have been children. I think the number is quite higher than that, but that's my opinion. A previous report by the commission in September found that Israel had committed genocide in Gaza and that Israeli officials, including the Prime Minister Netanyahu, incited these acts. Netanyahu is separately wanted by the ICC for war crimes. The Israeli mission in Geneva said Israel rejected the commission's libelous sham. Israel has fought hard against allegations of genocide while committing it, while receiving critical diplomatic support from its allies, including the US and the UK. You mean they're only allies at this point? Jen, would you like to take over, please?
A significant body of research by legal and rights experts has concluded that Israel is intent on destroying Palestinians, including analyses by UN investigators, rights bodies such as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, and genocide scholars worldwide. Again, is it me? Guys, I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day. What? We know this. We've already seen the report. The Court of Justice has already brought charges. There's arrest warrants out from the International Criminal Court. Like, I don't understand. Is it me? Guys, I don't understand. What is this?
Francesca Albanese came out with her report, I believe, in the early part of 2024. And you know how
I'm losing my mind. Like, guys, I feel like this. We know they target children. We know they shoot them in the head. We know that I'm just losing my mind. Guys, I feel like I'm being gaslit a little bit.
Genocide, which became a crime after the Second World War and the Holocaust, is considered the most serious international crime. Not to the chosen people, apparently.
Yeah.
Keep going. The Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide defines it as any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. The UN Commission said in its report released on Tuesday that Palestinian children were deliberately targeted and killed during the genocide, not war, including after a ceasefire came into effect in October of 25. There is no fucking ceasefire. I really
that's just silly. It's really silly. It's silly. Just stop with it's just. First of all, ceasefire again implies that there's a war. There's no war. It said this was a key element in establishing genocidal intent by Israeli authorities and security forces to destroy the Palestinian group in whole or in part. The evidence shows that Palestinian children have been deliberately targeted and killed by the IOF in a statement accompanying this report. Yeah, Peter, this is insanity. Yes, we know this. I feel like I could write this report. All right, this is
how many different clips, how many different images of those kids desperately seeking food have we been showing for the past 3 years? And they still want to deny that this is going on.
Zio forces continue to use high payload munitions and weapons with widespread effects in densely populated residential areas, despite mounting child casualties. Still are, every day, still bombing and droning and killing these babies in Gaza. Every day. With the ceasefire. This indicates that such attacks, which killed children in such high numbers, were intentional. It added that it believed children were targeted collectively because Zio Health security forces considered the civilian population as a whole to be associated with Hamas. No, it's because they're bigots and psychopaths. That's why. Wait, what publication is this? What are you reading? What is this? No wonder. Shit rag. Okay. He said that by targeting, I'm not saying it. Someone said, said that by targeting children, they were undermining the capacity of the Palestinian people to exist and determine their future. I cannot believe I'm reading this. So what you're saying is we needed a new report to tell us that killing children is undermining the future of their people. Conditions that Zio Hell imposed on Gaza, including widespread attacks, repeated displacement, and starvation caused by its blockade of aid, food, and medicine, severely harm children's health and development, resulting in preventable deaths and trauma, which, by the way, are not included in the death toll. So there's that.
That's why, as we've said,
so angry that I'm reading this.
The undercount is in the hundreds of thousands. That's a fact. And so they're saying 30,000 kids are you fucking mental? Try at least 250,000 kids are dead. At a minimum. At a minimum.
I think it's actually going to be more like closer to 500,000 kids.
You just wait. You just wait until they really get in there. Because once Israel's empire collapses, that's when everyone's going to be able to get in there. We've already seen what's going on at the Al-Shifa hospital, and probably
this maybe is more accurate. I would that could be accurate. 350,000 under age 5 sounds about right. I will tell you that what we're not including are the kids that are now living there without parents and without limbs and without medicine. Yep. So those kids that are not dead and part of that death toll, how long are they living like that in a place like that?
Colin,
so,
how much
again?
How much longer? Okay, I'll finish.
Angry.
The inquiry also found that attacks on healthcare and reproductive facilities affected newborn survival. Yeah, again, what a shock. And the report increased in miscarriages, and that nearly all children in Gaza reported to be in need of psychological support. Gee, you think? Israel's rebuttal accused Hamas of systematically diverting humanitarian aid and fuel for hospitals. Again, that's why Anthony Aguilar is a friend, because he was there undercover and he discovered that you were all a bunch of fucking genocidal liars. Hamas has rejected such accusations, while Israel has been accused of blocking aid and fuel from reaching Gaza. The report focused not only on Gaza, but also on the occupied West Bank, which Israel continues to control despite the International Court of Justice declaring its occupation unlawful in the West Bank, including East Jerusalem. The commission found a sharp increase in violence by Israeli settlers against Palestinian children and documented evidence of torture, including sexual and gender-based violence during
I hear
mass.
you all. I'm going to say something, not accused. That's again, the Guardian guys with a grain of salt. We're not reading this
Instead,
for
Palestinian children,
fun.
especially boys, were subjected to systemic mistreatment and detention, including forced stripping, beatings, and food deprivation, and anal rape by dogs. The commission concluded that the treatment constituted the crimes against humanity of torture and other inhumane acts causing great suffering or serious injury. If you think this is bad, this is, as you guys know, we've covered the JNS Conference in Jerusalem. And here is a Hillel Noir is his name. I would say that David Hunter is right. I'd say it's.
I think so too. I think so too. And I think it's actually going to keep creeping up from the ramifications from the malnourishment, the disease, all of these things. So it's going to only grow. But I would think that's more accurate. We're closer to 3 years than 2 years.
And it appears that the way that they're counting the deaths is based on bombings that end up in the morgue. Like, this is not even accounting for the famine, malnourishment. That is the real death. That is the slow death. And that is exactly what the disease. I mean, my God.
And then there's the people that, when we talk to our military friends, will confirm that certain people just get vaporized.
Oh, yeah. Can't even
when
identify.
You hit a tent, and I forget what the name of the weapon is. Somebody I'm sure knows what it is, but that there are people that there's no body parts, there's no remains. So you take those people and you add it to the people that are buried that are never going to be recovered. Those don't get counted. The people that die subsequent of disease and malnutrition, that doesn't get counted. So their numbers are silly. It's silly. You can't level an entire place and have bodies buried everywhere and only count the people that have made it into the morgue. That's silly. Yeah.
The Zios don't like this.
Albanese, the UN rapporteur on Palestine. As you know, I don't have to tell this audience, she has said that America is controlled by the Jewish lobby. On October 7th, she defended Hamas, said there's a context. And every 5 minutes on Twitter, she is echoing the worst blood libels against Israel. She is the leading purveyor of the genocide libel.
You know why? Because that's her fucking job. That's why she's the leader of that, because it's her job, right? See, we would be doing that if it were our job, and we're still doing it anyway on our small little, relatively small platform. I love how it's so silly. Yes, of course she's leading in that. That's her mission. That's her fucking job.
We are fighting back. We have exposed her.
Exposed her. Oh my God.
We have exposed her hateful remarks. She is the first. She is now the first UN rapporteur in history to have been condemned by France, Germany, Canada, the Netherlands, the UK, Argentina, Hungary, the US, and many other countries. Latvia.
You mean every country?
All our bitches? Oh my God, this man. And again, I use the term man so loosely. I need to stop using it. I got to say male. Well,
the guy who dresses up as Santa Claus around the
somebody
holidays.
who seemingly identifies as male. Okay, that's as good as I'm going to give him. Someone who seemingly identifies as male. This piece of shit.
Estonia, and many other countries. And each condemnation matters. And we led a campaign. We got 120,000 people, including many here, who signed our petition asking Secretary Rubio to take action when the UN failed to act. Secretary Rubio announced for the first time in history the U.S. would sanction a UN official on July 9th. For the first time in history, UN Rapporteur Francesca Albanese was sanctioned by the United States.
Illegally.
No more lectures that she used to give in Harvard, Princeton, Georgetown, and Columbia. She is banned entry from the United States. She cannot use a bank card. She cannot use a debit card. She cannot receive a payment. Deterrence, and after she was sanctioned, we got her husband, who works for the World Bank, who shares in her incitement. He was demoted from his position at the World Bank for incitement.
they talk like this is a flex, like this is a good thing. That's how they talk.
Right. He's bragging about all of these things are illegal to do. Show yourself, micro penis man, show yourself.
This is the head of again, you're talking about the head of the United Nations. She is the UN rapporteur. And you are, again, it doesn't happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen, but they are slowly but surely going to fall. They will no longer have relevance, and that is it. Yeah.
Welcome, Joe Chang.
Happy to have you here, Joe.
To hate. And after she was sanctioned, the head of the Commission of Inquiry against Israel, Navi Pillay, resigned. We heard that she has family in the U.S. She was afraid if she got sanctioned, she couldn't enter the U.S. She resigned.
Mara's right. Just look at that extremely diverse crowd of very wealthy, Long Island-looking North Shore Jewish people.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't see. With the exception of maybe this one guy up here in the front corner, I don't see any Semites.
Well, not only that, but look at the age. I mean, the majority of them are all in their 60s.
Yeah, but nary a Semite, people. Nary a Semite.
Well, I don't think at this point that they are even concerned about that anymore. I think that they
No, I just wanted that's the whole point. They cannot claim this shit.
Yeah, no, I get it. And again, this is this is a very powerful organization that is still convinced that their way is going to win. They're still convinced in their mind that this is a winning strategy. Now, we have covered Melanie Phillips before. If you thought Hillel was a piece of shit, Melanie Phillips is even worse, but of course she has to add the British snoot to the stage when she makes her statement.
Iran is not strong, but America's many powerful weapons count for absolutely nothing if it won't use them. If America won't commit itself to take the pain involved in fighting for its way of life, then Iran wins. And America won't defend itself properly because it does not understand that when it has an enemy, as in the Iranian regime, that believes God is instructing it to destroy America and the Jews, any negotiation is viewed by them as weakness and a way to manipulate America into surrender.
Surrender. Surrender. There's nothing to surrender because we're already done. It's done. She didn't get the memo. Well, somebody sent her the memo.
But an old crab ass like this doesn't ever get the memo because, again, she sits in a very high position in society and never thinks otherwise. Remember, women, forget women. People like this person believe that they are superior.
Say who this is. Her name is what? Melanie Phillips.
Melanie Phillips. She's a British Zionist, she's very
like,
proud British Zionist. She's an overeducated shitlib who is convinced that you need to die for her to feel safe. That's basically it. And that's not changing. So I like the fact that so many of these people are going to need to go to therapy.
Okay, hot dog. Don't do that. Okay?
Don't do that.
We're not going to do that. Mary is practically perfect in every way. You will say nothing that affiliates Mary with anything negative.
Mary Poppins.
Just don't do
it. I'm just channeling Dick Van Dyke. What do you get on my ass?
Don't do it. That's like up there with
to
like
defeat
going
Iran, America needs to end all negotiation and fight through blockades or kinetic war or boots on the ground wherever necessary.
Are you signing up first? Please let us know when your old wrinkly ass is going to sign up with boots on the ground.
I would like her grandchildren to go. I think your grandchildren should go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the thing that I want to remind people about war. And this is how I've always felt since I was young, even at a time where I contemplated going. this is something people still seem to forget. Anyone that asks you to go die for them, they're the first people who should die, as far as I'm concerned.
But I've actually always had this thought that every time Congress declares war, that their grandchildren and children should go first.
Well, that's why Michael Moore was absolutely right with Fahrenheit 9/11. That was some of his best work, because he's like, these guys are all sending you off to Iraq, but they will never send their kids, ever. They want you to die for them to, well, first of all, they want you to die for them to make money. And that's all war really has ever been about anyway. It's about, how do I scam you into getting rich?
And Vanessa Redgrave, when she was like in her prime, she's definitely, I follow her on Instagram, and she's definitely like old and being kind of cared for. But Vanessa Redgrave in her day would have ripped that woman a new asshole.
Absolutely, she would have. And leave it to somebody that we admire greatly to basically bring it all home for us in light of the latest updated report from the UN. And to here we are now, 3 years later, and how many people are still stone silent about what's going on?
Where have you been, leaders? What made you speak out about other people's human rights but not the children of Gaza? Did you not see these kids as kids because of where they were born? Did you not think the 20,000 kids that were killed and the countless others under the rubble and who died of starvation and other causes that would be so simple to treat? Did you not think those kids were as loved, as cherished? Did you not think they had beating hearts like your kids? This report is undisputable evidence of the deliberate targeting of children, killing children on purpose. Things like a quadcopter shooting a baby breastfeeding that's in a tent. 151 children died of starvation. Where have you been, people we looked up to? You didn't want to lose your reputation or your power or your money. How can you go to sleep at night knowing you didn't say anything?
Because their comfort is more important than their humanity, that of which they lack. If you are not willing to take risks, then you deserve nothing in this life, which is why I've often said that comfort is a privilege. It's not a right. I'm not comfortable. I've taken a lot of risks that a lot of people maybe wouldn't take.